Good morning, Townsville. I want to address an important issue that affects our entire community, the Haughton Pipeline Stage 2 project. I understand that this news may be disappointing and concerning to many, and I want to speak openly and honestly about where we are, how we got here, and what happens next. The Haughton Pipeline project stands as one of the most significant infrastructure undertakings in Townsville's history. Only 12 years ago, our city was facing the significant impacts of drought and heavy water restrictions, a challenge that was very key to be the driver behind the decision to commence building the Haughton Pipeline project in the first place. We are far from immune from drought, and no matter how much rain we've had recently, drought could just be around the corner. This pipeline represents a commitment to secure long-term water security for our community and industries that drive our economy. Recently, our city's population surpassed 200,000, and we're expecting strong momentum for continued growth across the region in all sectors. With that growth comes responsibility. Water security remains a critical foundation for Townsville's future. While recent years have brought increased rainfall and even flooding, these events do not erase the challenges. Our homes, our businesses and our industry need confidence that water will be there when we need it, whenever the future needs it. Since my appointment as Mayor, I've had an opportunity to look behind the curtain, and it's time that our community fully understands the challenges we face in delivering this project. I know that the past communications and actions around this project have left many in our community confused and frustrated. This ends today. The fact is, there is no sugarcoating it. The Haughton Pipeline Stage 2 project. This project was launched without a robust business case to guide it. It was significantly underestimated from its very beginnings, and completing it will require further investment of hundreds of millions of dollars. These are hard truths, but they are the reality we must confront together. As a council, we must unite and face this challenge head on. This is not a project we can simply walk away from. Our city needs this pipeline, and we are at the point of no return. And while the decisions to deliver this project was made well before my time as Mayor, my focus now is to ensure transparency, accountability as we move forward. Until now, councillors have been limited in what they could share publicly due to commercial in confidence and requirements. But today, we provide clarity and an update. I'm committed to restoring trust, strengthening accountability, and ensuring whatever decisions are made serve the interest of Townsville well. I stand before you today as Mayor and someone who will tell you the good, the bad and the ugly of what's going on. I will keep our community informed on both wins and setbacks, and provide confidence that even when things aren't going to plan, I'm doing everything in my power to find solutions. That's the leader I am. That's the council I will lead. And that's the leadership Townsville deserves. Understanding the past is key to shaping the future and rightly explaining how we got here. We need to go back to the beginning. The Haughton Pipeline project recommenced as part of the Townsville Water Security Task Force Report 2018. It proposed to provide emergency water supply relief to Townsville in times of drought and to sustain water supply to the growing population and industrial base. In September 2020, Council signed a grant deed with the state government for $195 million to fund towards the project. 12 months later, Council passed a resolution that approved several major aspects of the project, one of which was the acknowledgement that Council is responsible for funding all costs exceeding $195 million for the project. That agreed budget for the project at the time was $274 million, including Council's $79 million contribution. Despite this it is shown very early that the forecast was significant over budget from the very early onset, with documents discovered in 2021 showing a forecast of $370 million. Those documents also highlighted the considerable efforts made by the Council's delivery team to reduce costs at that time. In early 2023, an external review was initiated by Council officers to understand what could be done to reduce the forecast cost blowouts. That review identified various causes for cost increase, and future work was completed to identify several significant issues that the location of and the design of the intended pump station posed. It is worth noting, as part of the grant deed conditions, Council reported monthly on progress of the project to the state government. Council reports have always been clear, concise about the issues and budget position of the project to the state. In 2023, reviewed highlights that COVID-19 pandemic and inflation pressures that followed caused significant cost increase to all council projects. For the Haughton pipeline, the impact was more severe because of its scale. This, however, does not account for the majority of the cost increases. The review also found the project budget was significantly underestimated from the onset. The truth is, Council never undertook its own business case, instead referring to the Commonwealth business case completed in 2019. As a result, Council entered into a funding agreement that made it responsible for any costs increased before fully understanding the project's scope and benefits. Since that time, Council has continued to build the pipeline sections of the project, and the Council officers have been working with the state funding partners to identify and resolve the issues for the pump station delivery. With that in mind, I want to acknowledge the current CEO, Joe McCabe, and his team for over the last 18 months steering this project back on track. It's not been easy, but Joe has shown unwavering commitment to setting the course right, and his leadership has been instrumental in restoring focus in driving this project forward. In December 2024, Council presented all the findings of the review to state representatives. At that point, the Council, the state and Sunwater agreed to work on a solution that would resolve the identified technical issues in delivering a suitable pump station for this project, leveraging existing infrastructure to reduce costs. In June 2025, Council, in collaboration with Sunwater, presented a technical memorandum to the state with a proposed way forward for the project. This was accepted by the state, and since that time, Council has been working through a concept study and business case that will see a redesigned pump station at a different location, not far from the Burdekin Riverbank location that it was initially chosen to be used. There are very early cost estimates for this project's completion. These estimates include significant contingency allowances. Therefore, at this point in time, it would be premature to disclose these figures at this stage. It is likely that even low-cost options for fully commissioning the pipeline will require significant funding in the hundreds of millions of dollars. It is not clear, though, the full extent of what funding will be required. As I stated before, it is no doubt in the hundreds of millions of dollars. The concept report and business case is scheduled for completion, write this one down, June 2026. Once finalised, we will have a more defined understanding of the design and a way forward, and we will enable us to produce a far more accurate cost estimate for completing this project. This is a critical step forward, ensuring transparency and accountability as we move forward, and I will provide detailed updates to the community as soon as practical. As part of the Council's mid-year review, we have allocated a further $6 million towards the Haughton Pipeline Stage 2 project. This brings Council's total investment to $85 million, alongside the state government's contribution of $195 million. This funding will cover all costs incurred so far, allowing us to complete more than 26, sorry, let me correct myself there. This funding will cover all costs incurred so far and allow us to complete more than 28 kilometres of trench pipeline by early 2026. This will bring the total length of pipeline installed across Stage 1 and Stage 2 to approximately 60 kilometres of pipeline, running from the Burdekin River all the way to Ross Dam. However, even after the trench section of pipeline are finished, there will be still 3 sections of trench pipeline outstanding that will be tendered to ensure the best possible outcomes for this project. Council remains firmly committed to completing and commissioning the pipeline. The current pipeline will meet community needs until 2032. By then, the Haughton pipeline must be completely operational to support Townsville's growth and meet project water demands for the Lansdowne Eco-Industrial Precinct. To be clear, additional council funding will be required in the coming years to complete this project. However, Townsville City Council cannot and should not bear the sole burden for funding this completion. That's why I've already begun discussions with the Premier of Queensland and the Deputy Premier to chart a way forward to ensure shared responsibility and a sustainable solution. I want to extend my thanks to the state government, Sunwater representatives, for their ongoing support and collaboration with our internal team as we worked to overcome the challenges of this project. Together with the state government, my fellow councillors, our council team, and I have focused on completing these works, commissioning the pipeline and delivering the water infrastructure that secures Townsville's future. Thank you very much.